Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you very much for joining me for today's tutorial. Today we're going to be making this, but I just want to say a quick thank you to everyone that has really enjoyed the Winter Sparkle collection so far. I'm absolutely blown away by how much you guys love it. So today we're going to be making the smaller version of this one here. So the sets we're going to be using today are the large shadow frame box. It has a little notch here that we can cut down to make the shorter sides, and also the winter scene set as well. I love this one, and I've actually been experimenting with Halloween. It's a bit too early for Halloween, or maybe it's not, depends where you are. And there we go. Obviously this is mostly a Christmas thing, but this is what this will look like if you dress this up for Halloween, so I'm really excited about that as well. Let's pop that aside and have a quick look at the die sets. I'll be using the Winter Sparkle paper, and here are the die sets here. They got a lovely big size tree, and we'll be using these dies as well. So a quick cutting guide. I'm going to run through cutting the main panel with you, but you need to die cut 4 of these, but there is a notch here and you can be conservative with how you cut these out. So as you can see, that fits there and we cut that out, but I'll show you as we work through the die platform, and then we have all of the extra bits here that you're going to be needing. And also the winter scenes, here it is. I'm going to be delving into this, and I was thinking perhaps adding some gold behind my tree this time, and maybe using some gold accents with the moon, perhaps the snow as well. It's going to be a very it's not going to be very small, but it's going to be a scaled down version, so I'm going to see what I can fit in there basically. And I'm just using some ordinary white cardstock. I will leave my favourite white card down below. There's a couple. One of my favourites is the Hunky Dory Adorable Scoreable in white, and I will make sure that is linked down below. So let's get die cutting. Right, so we're going to start off with this die. And as this is quite big, you'll be needing a large format machine. I just need to clear the decks. I've got some things on my machine at the moment. I've just bought some new inks for my printer, so I won't be needing these until next year. And I mean that, I won't be needing them until next year, because it's a liquid tank, eco tank, and it will take a while for me to get through my recent refill. Okay, so this is how I'm going to run this through. So grab your white cardstock, and also we have the notch here. It will be a complete waste if we run that through and then have to trim that off, because then we'll have this little part here and all of this wastage there. So I'm going to be economical as best as I can and show you a way that you can make the best out of your card. And as you can see, I have all of this down here, so I can trim this off and this there, and then pop it aside for stamping on and using for sentiments and things. So I'm going to do that for all 4 of them. There we go. And I just also want to say thank you to everyone that has popped over to the Simply Made Crafts channel and watching the videos over there. There's a few winter sparkle videos over there as well, so I've noticed quite a few of you have jumped over, so many thanks for that. I really do appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to need a trimmer now for this one, and all you have to do is find the notch here. We've got a little dotted line there and the L for large, and just going to pop that in there, run that. I just need to put my head down a little bit so I can see. There we go, and then that is the right size. So all we have to do now, that is my offcut now, less wastage. All we have to do now is fold down the score lines, use a bone folder to get some really nice crisp corners. This really does make a huge difference to your finished project when you do this, especially if you're card making and you're making card bases. Use a bone folder just to push that down, and it will look like a shop bought card. Okay, that's all done. Let's add our glue along this line here, because we have the tapered end there. That means that's the tab. using Cosmic Shimmer today. And all we do is just fold that in just like that. And if you are using something shiny or the adorable Scoreable, which has a nice surface on it, you might want to add a little bit of red tape as well as the glue, just so that you have that instant stick. Because it's a shinier surface, it could take a little bit of extra time to dry. I'm using just a matte white card. I will leave that link down below as well, as I said earlier. And that's basically it now. Because it's matte, it's taken really quickly. Now I have this one here, and I have another 4. Right, let's get these glued together. This is super duper easy. All we have to do is add our glue to the underside here and create a line. But your line must include everything in the same orientation. We can't have one like this in the line. Okay, so if you add it like that, it's not going to fold up properly. So it all has to be the same way up. Okay, so I'm just going to add my glue. Again, using red tape is easier, as well as using the glue at the same time. Okay, so fold this in. Be very careful, you can get a paper cut doing this, so be very, very gentle. That has happened to me. I learned the hard way, and passing on my wisdom. There we go, that's all lined up, and then you can push that open and then get your finger in and give that a press. There we go. Right, now add the other 2. Okay, there's my last one. Who'd have thought paper crafting was so hazardous? Okay, so let's add some glue now to this last one, and I totally recommend adding a bit of red tape to the last one for definite. Okay, so pop a bit of glue just here as well as we fold this up. That's going to hold these corners in place, and if you do get a little bit catching at the bottom, just kind of lift it up and down a little bit just to wiggle that in. There we go, and I'm just going to add my last little bit of glue just here, and then let's fold this in. And there we have the beginnings of our little square box. Now let's do a little size comparison. So we have the small one and the large one. There we go. You can see the colour difference actually. This one is the hunky-dory one in white, so it's a slightly different white. You'll find that every single white that you buy from a different pack or a different company, you know, it's a very slightly different shade. So there's loads of different shades of white available. Okay, so we're going to now move on. I have some bits already cut already, so let's give you some measurements. And this one measures 7 5/8 squared, so it's going to measure 7 5/8 the other way as well. And I've got one from the patterned paper and one just from ordinary white paper. Just to quickly show you the paper pack again, this is the Winter Sparkle, and I've taken the Sky one. But you can do any background you want, or if you have any other sort of sky papers in your collection, then, you know, just go for it really. And if you want to share any of your makes with me to make sure that I see them, you can join our Facebook group, which is Paper Crafting with Helen Griffin, and I would love to see all of your shares over there. We're a lovely bunch over there. So I'm just gluing this all together. It doesn't matter if it's not perfectly lined up, it's all going to be hidden on the back here. There we go. So just a quick dry run, that's going to go over there. Perfect. Right, turn this over now. This reminds me of when I went live and I said turn it to the back side, and I said, yeah, no sniggering, and Lynn actually laughed, so no sniggering at the back, Lynn. Right, so let's get this popped on now. So I have measured this to be a tad smaller than the frame so it doesn't stick out at the edges. So do your best here to square everything off. If you're ever worried about it not being square, grab yourself your scoreboard, and it has this angle here, so you can pop this up here just to make sure that it's a right angle here, which means it will be a right angle at the bottom. And then once you're happy with that positioning, you are done. So again, the shadow boxes can be used for loads of different styles of project. Doesn't have to be for Christmas. You can do birthday, you can do a newborn, you can put a little handprint in there. Perfect for pets as well. Okay, so I will have to trim my tree down a little bit to get that to fit in, but this would also look great just on the front, just like that. But I am going to trim this down to fit that in there, and I'm going to do a very, very basic one today, just so that you can let your imagination run wild with this. And I've added loads of diorama scenes on here and layered things up with the foam pads. You can add lights. I know Victoria from the design team has one with lights. I'll just grab that. I love this. Here we go. This is Victoria's one, and there will be a tutorial for this as well on her channel, which is Crafty Heaven. And she's popped a little battery pack on the back there. And there we are. Isn't that pretty? I love that. That is going to look so stunning on your mantelpiece or on the shelf. Right, let's turn that battery off now. I'm really wary of wearing out those batteries, but it is replaceable. Those batteries are replaceable, so they're easy to come by. Right, so let's pop these trees together. So I've done one from, I think this is antique gold. Do I have the packaging still? I know if I don't show you guys, I'll get questions, but I'll probably still get questions anyway. But this will be linked down below. It's antique gold. This is the Foundations Pearl card. I totally recommend this. It's a lovely, lovely cardstock. Okay, so let's get these glued down. So I'm just going to strategically add my glue to different places. Doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't matter if bits and bobs lift up as well, because it just adds to that effect of like the twiggy effect, I guess. And it being right back in the box there, it's not really going to get caught on anything. It's not part of anything that moves about. So you choose how much you want to stagger this. And if gold is not your colour, just imagine any other colour would be lovely too. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside to dry, and I'll also need to wipe that down. So let me do that, and I'm also going to die cut some more of my pieces, and then I shall be right back. Okay, so this is now dried. I'm ready to start assembling some bits and bobs. I've got all of the bits out that I think I need, and I can always do additional die cuts. I'm going to glue these snowdrifts together. I will probably have to do another one there to get that to fit, as this was designed for the large album, but I might be able to just get away with perhaps trimming it and then popping the bunny there. We'll see what happens. And then I've got my fences, my bunny, and the moon. I'm going to have the gold background and some grass as well. So let's get all this popped in. And I'll start off by being tidy. Pop these away because I will lose them. And then I need to trim the tree down so it's going to fit. I think I'm just going to have this right in the center there, so I'm going to have to trim this to about here. So let's grab the scissors. try and get this as straight as possible. And let's pop that in there. That's good. I'm happy with that. And I want my fences behind. I'm going to have them lifted up because we're going to have the snow drifts in front. So this is a lot of fun to do, actually. Just have a little play and get creative. There we go, and I'll probably put the tree up on foam pads as well, so there's more dimension, and then we're going to play with the snow drifts as well. Okay, so here is my finished frame. I absolutely love this one, and there's still potential now for me to keep building up with some more of these grasses out the front and layer them up with my adhesive foam pads. I've used all of them up, so I have to grab some more out of my box. But this is the finished project. So I've used the Christmas wishes here, but I do have another stamp set. So this one will also work really well. This is from the same collection, Winter Sparkle. It's A5 stamp set. There we go. It's got some lovely phrases and sentiments on there, and it also comes with all of these outline dies as well that's going to cut out your sentiments, just like this one has there. So that is the winter scenes and the large shadow frame box. That has been made with the shorter side, so it's going to be really easy to, like I showed you before, it's really easy to cut that down to size. So again, this is a wonderful, wonderful shadow box. Again, you can make an album presentation box as well. I haven't showed you this one yet on this video, but inside is the large album, and it all comes in that die set, and the large album is a separate set as well. So again, but it all works together perfectly. So thank you very much for joining me today. Everything that I've used is listed down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this one, subscribe in the corner because there's plenty more festive tutorials coming your way, and I'll see you again next time.